Salt Lake City, y'all got trash hoopers. At least the park that I went to, y'all was trash. Was cooking y'all. Something's value in this world is largely tied to this level of scarcity. All right, so I'm in YM buys here at that 4-hour fair value gap open. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Ali, back at it again with another video. I know I've been gone for a minute. Just been locking in on myself, taking care of myself internally, getting some things straight, making some adjustments to my strategy, and just living life. So I'll mainly be posting just the daily case studies. I don't even know the right wording for it, but basically I'll just be posting my pre-market analysis, and then if I take a trade, I'll be posting my post-market recap and just going over my thought process throughout the whole trade, and just being transparent and showing what I'm doing in the markets. And that's really it. Make sure to just leave comments on what you would like to see. If you don't understand something I'm doing, ask questions so I can make more videos. The more feedback that I get, the more that I'll have to put in these videos to pretty much help you guys that are watching. And yeah, so let's get into this pre-market analysis. All right, bet. So I follow a systematic routine whenever I come into the market. So you can see today's May 27th down there at the bottom. What I like to do first is just come and get the previous week's high. Now I do trade NASDAQ. I do trade ES and YM specifically. So I just come and get the previous week's high and the previous week's low of, let's move this right here for right now. I bet the low 756 and a half. And we do have about 10 minutes till market open, so I'm trying to move a little quickly here. And then I drop down to my 4-hour time frame. I like to lock these previous week's lows and previous week's highs in because they won't really move for the majority of the week, so I just lock them in. And anytime I delete all the drawings on my chart, they won't go anywhere. So then I like to get my plot my range on my 4-hour and my 1-hour, 9, 12 and a half. And this is how I kind of get a gauge. I get a daily bias, right? I get a daily bias, and it kind of tells me what direction I'm looking to trade in for the day. And if you can get the direction, just the direction alone, right on the day, more times than not, then that's kind of how you start to build your edge. And right off the rip here, I can see that, boom, right there. This is also a 4-hour fair value gap open. So I like to come on here and plot. Once I'm on my 4-hour, I plot my range and I plot any fair value gaps that I see, and then I'll plot any order blocks that I see as well. And these are all just points of interest that I'm looking at in order to give me an idea of where I would like to take a trade. All right, they give me an idea of where the market can start to react. All right, so boom. If you have a question on any of those concepts that I just mentioned, just leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to answer you if I haven't already in another video. So bow 77 and a half. That's a fair value gap open on the 4-hour, and I believe it's going to be one on the 1-hour as well. So we got our 1-hour, our 4-hour marked up almost a 43.75, and that's the fair value gap close 4-hour. And all of these different lines and the thickness of the lines mean something, right? That's just how I mark things up. I won't go too much into depth on this video, just because this is like a pre-market analysis and post-market analysis video, but I will make another video kind of going over the colors and why this is dotted, why this is solid, and all that good stuff. But for right now, one break. For right now, I am bullish on the 4-hour and bearish on the 1-hour. Even though it looks like the 1-hour is bullish, I am still bearish on it, at least for right now. Now, if we break above if we get a close above this high up here, then I will turn bullish on the 1-hour. But for right now, I am bearish. I do see we have this pre-market high 3 a.m. 9:08 and a half. 9:08 and a half. Wait. 9:10. Okay. So 9:10 is gonna be our pre-market high. Ooh, bow right there. And then right here is gonna be our pre-market low. I think we do have news today at around 9 a.m. So I will be watching for that. I do have a flight to catch, so I'll probably be hopping off of the charts pretty quick today. But if I do catch anything, I will, be sure to put it in the video. Pre-market low right there. All right. So I have my range on my 1 hour, my range on my 4 hour, and I have my pre-market high marked, my pre-market low, and let's mark my previous day's high. My previous day's high, which it'll be from Friday, but we had Memorial Day yesterday, so we'll mark that from Monday. And then this is also the previous, where's Monday. I bet this is also the previous day's low / PDL. Okay, so as of now, there's also a 1 hour fair value gap close. Okay, and it's a 4 hour and a 1 hour. So as of now, I would like to see buys. Let's get this range right here. I would like to see buys from this pre-market low. Honestly, it would be in the discount area, which we already bounced from on the 4 hour, inside of a 4 hour order block, and we are bullish on the 4 hour. So, and this is also we also just filled a 1 hour fair value gap, 886. Yep, to the point actually. So I'm looking to take buys at this pre-market low. If it doesn't work out, I'll look to get in again at 877 and a half. I'm very skeptical. Let's see. I'm pretty skeptical of taking sells up here. 1 hour fair value gap. It is a fair value gap. Is it also a 4 hour fair value gap? Let's see. No, it isn't. All right. So up here we have the 4 hour breaker structure, but then we have the 4 hour and the 1 hour breaker structure and a 4 hour fair value gap opening, with the pre-market high up here and the 1 hour still being bearish on my end. Now, this is a little tricky because obviously the 1 hour is pushing up. So if we were to break up, we would break this high, we could, have a rejection down, or we could just blast right through. So that's a little tricky. So I'd rather get buys, I'd rather get buys down here because we're in a discount zone. We're in a 4 hour order block, and price has already shown us that it's bouncing from both of these areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and get this double screen action going on. Bow, get on this 5 minute on ES. 886. Right. God damn it. Okay, can't do it on that screen. So we're gonna do it like this. Won't let me log in. Let's see. I'm not even in on any other. Oh, I'm in on this one. Okay. Ooh, market's falling pretty hard right before open. I don't really like that. Let's see what happens though. If we break that low before the market opens, I will not be taking that pre-market low bounce. I will not be taking that pre-market low bounce. 886. I'll be going in with 8 micro contracts. Honestly, I hope we do break it right before open. Break it. Go ahead and break it. Go ahead and break it. Go ahead and break it. My stop loss is an automatic 5 points, so 881 TP. Well, my first TP would be at my 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I would take half of my profits off there, which is something new that I'm doing. Yeah, that's something new that I'm adding to my strategy. Just adjusting to my strategy. And then, fuck, what happened? TP 896. All right, we got 30 seconds till market open. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. You're gonna wait it out. Just a little skeptical, just because it's right there. It is a Monday, so anything can happen really. And honestly, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So we're gonna fade this entry. Actually, we're gonna fade it. Yep, it hit right before open. So we fade in that entry, and we'll wait for our other one. Multiple entries with my strategy. Multiple entries. And it may still work out, but it is what it is. I'll look to be getting in at 877.5 with that same 5-point stop. So 872.5 would be my stop, and then 887.5 would be my profit target. So let's see what happens. You see market it hit 886, came down to 882.25, and it's bouncing up right now. Had I got in, I would have been at my haven't been at my 1-to-1 yet. Not quite. Let's see. 881. So my 1-to-1 would be about right here. So let's see if that's gonna play out. I doubt it will. But that's all I have for ES. Now let's take a quick look at YM. I didn't really get to do that one yet. Oh, let's delete all of this stuff here. Remove drawings. Let's come on that weekly time frame. Previous week's high. Same process as I did on ES. 42,976. You can see prices coming down on ES right there. Previous week's high. We faded a loss. Looks like we'll be getting that second entry. And my 1-to-1 here will be at 882.5 if we do get filled. So let's see what happens. And I actually won't be selling 4 there. I'll be 8 there. I'll be selling 4 there. 882.5. I'll be selling 4 if we get filled. Let's see. Let's finish up on YM. Low 236. And most of trading is just waiting, bro. If you're patient, you're good at waiting, and you don't have a problem with not taking a trade, this game is much easier to play. But if you come into the market feeling like you have to rush and get into a trade and rush and do something, look at this. Look at this. Normally YM and ES look similar. Yep, faded a loss on ES. There we go. And Mondays can be a little tricky. So when it comes to doing risky stuff, I'd rather just not. Rather not. Looks like we might get filled right here. We'll see what happens. Low 986, 987. So I'll just call this a 4-hour fair value gap. Open. Yeah, I'll call that. Looks like YM is about to give us an entry, 857. I'm gonna take it slow though. I'd rather get this entry on ES. I'd rather get the entry on ES. But let's see. I actually have to go in a few. Got a flight to catch. Same thing. I'm bullish on the 4-hour for YM, and I'm bearish on the 1-hour. right? And y'all can see why. That's the market is falling. All right, we got entered into our trade, 882.5. I'll sell half of my position. And yeah. Wait, I'm only in 4. I'm not supposed to be in. I'm supposed to be in 8. Whatever. All right. Looks like we're gonna hit stop loss on this trade. Nice and quick L. But we'll see. Not quite yet. Not quite. Market is like it's trying to pull back. Oh, a little gap down on the 5-minute. So most likely we'll hit stop loss on this trade. No, why is it doing this? I don't understand that. All right. So stopped out on our first trade. Let's see if we can get another entry. Yeah, let's see if we can get another entry here. If we can reclaim this 877.5, yeah, if we can reclaim this 877.5, I wouldn't be mad at that. At a re-entry there. See, that first entry got cooked. We'll see what happens. 877.5. We can get back above. 872. Now, if this 5-minute closes below this red box, I will not be getting back in. Let's finish up on YM though, because I do think that. Ooh. It's just getting cooked. It's just getting cooked. Okay, so market's falling pretty hard, and that's why I was bearish on the 1 hour. Just didn't have an entry. Just didn't have an entry on the 1 hour to the downside. Would have wanted price to come up here and possibly take sales from up there, but it's all good. It's all good. 988, 938. Looking at possibly taking buys. 42,061 on YM here. 987. Yeah, looking at possibly taking buys here. Let's see. Yep. All right, so I'm in YM buys here at that 4-hour fair value gap open. Let's see. Go back to the big chart. Ooh. So 987, 937 will be my 1-to-1. $37 will be my 1-to-1. There I will sell 2 contracts. And then I'll sell the other 2 if we can get up to 42,187. 42,087, I meant. Let's see, there we go. Wow. All right, now if we hit this 1R, I'll move my stop loss to break even. And yeah, it'll be good. So if I lose on this trade, I'll be done for the day. And if I win, I'll probably be done as well. So I'll keep y'all updated. I need to pack and go catch this flight. So yeah. All right, y'all. So excuse the wind, but as I'm running up this mountain, I just realized a few things. You know, one reason that I love mountains now is because I realize that they're just so quiet. You know, you don't really realize how loud everything is within just our normal lives living within the city, until you come to a mountain or you leave the city, you go to the country, and there's no car sounds. It's, you know, it's no traffic, no loud, just noises, and you can just truly just sit in nature and hear yourself, you know, without needing some type of
anything in your ear to distract you from what's outside of you, right? You can tap into yourself, tap in with nature. Two, whenever you're like hiking up mountains, like everybody that's outside with you is on like the same frequency. People are nice, people are, you know, appreciating the environment, and everybody has like a natural understood mutual respect for each other, because it takes work to get up the mountain, right? If you see somebody else at a mountaintop, you don't question how they got there, right? Regardless of the age, regardless of what race or whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's like you put in some type of work to get up here, so it's like a natural respect that you have for everybody in the environment. And I'm growing to appreciate things that just are hard to freaking get. You know, every like something's value in this world is largely tied to this level of scarcity, and it's no different with the experience. Like, I value these type of like views because not everybody can get this view, just because not everybody will be willing to put in the work to come and get it. Like, it's here to come and get, it's here to come and experience. Like, it's nothing limiting anybody from coming to get this experience, and it's nothing limiting a lot of people from getting almost anything that they want, you know. So it's kind of like a natural reminder of like, all right, bro, if you want a certain experience in life, whatever that is, you got to be willing to climb whatever terrain, go through whatever terrain, however hard it is, you know. Whether you run, whether you walk, whether you bike, you know. I'm passing up people on the way here, you know, they're walking and I'm running, they're like, man, how you running, man? Respect, that's hard. And then I see this other guy biking up the same mountain that I'm struggling to run up, and I'm like, damn, that's a different level. So it's a lot of lessons that I get, and that you can just see if you got your eyes open on these mountains. So yeah, just quick revelations I got. Now back to the trading stuff. Y'all thought I was lying, huh? Y'all thought I was lying. They going up there. Y'all thought I was lying.
All right, so we back in the hotel with it. Thought I left the mountain. Went and found a park. Got some runs in. Salt Lake City, y'all got trash hoopers. At least the park that I went to, y'all was trash. It was cooking y'all. But let's get into this post-market recap. So before I had left for my flight, I was in YM. All right, I was in YM buys. So let's go and see what happened. Went absolutely crazy, bro. Went absolutely crazy. Obviously, I didn't catch this whole move. There's no way for me to know that this is gonna happen. The only thing that I could really do in this situation is leave a runner. That's really it. And then if I did leave a runner, all I would have done probably would have took profit at this previous day's high and called it a day. And then even if you took profit there, it's like it still went. There's always going to be a point in the market where there's always going to be a point in time where the market is going to move without you. You know, it's going to move without you regardless of what entry you have, what strategy you use. There's really no point in trying to catch the whole thing. And today's like a prime example of one of the moments where, you know, your trade hits and then it goes way past your profit target, and you can either get stuck in that feeling of, oh man, I should have held, man, I should have known that it was, I should have, or you could be satisfied with the profits that you did make and add this trade to your, you know, to your journal. And then if this continues to happen, that's when you study your winning trades, and then you learn, all right, on these winning trades, when it goes to 10R, it does this thing. When it goes to 15R, it does this. You know, and that's kind of how you catch more winning trades, or that's how you begin to hold your trades longer. I'm slowly growing into holding my trades past 2R. But for right now, I'm just focusing on these base hits. So yeah, that my whole thought process, you know, I didn't get to go through my full analysis with the pre-market on YM, but essentially it was the same as ES. So let's just go in the replay. So I was bearish. I was bullish on the 4-hour and bearish on the 1 hour. I had this same like range, right? Same type of range. Let's go on 4H on ES. Let's go back on here as well. So yeah, look, Same, similar ranges, right? Similar ranges on YM and ES. ES didn't break this low, right? It didn't break the 4-hour low. It didn't tap into that 4-hour fair value gap like YM did, But hey, they both ran. ES ended up reclaiming that initial entry that I got. Ended up reclaiming that initial entry that I got right here. You can see this is where I got that first trade, got stopped out pretty quick. And then I mentioned if it reclaims it without closing below my stop loss, then I would re-enter at that point in time. While I was looking for the re-entry, YM had triggered, and that's why I didn't take it. And I ended up profiting on YM a little more than I should have, because if y'all noticed, once I got into that YM trade, it was like almost no drawdown. And I was up around like $200, and it was barely even above the entry. But I quickly realized after I ended the video that I was in 4 mini contracts instead of 4 micro contracts, and I was up $500, and I was like, all right, boom, close it, because that was more than what I was supposed to be up had I been in 4 micro contracts. I could have sat there and said, all right, might as well let it play out, since I'm already in it. I could have cut a couple contracts. There was a couple other things I could have done, to get even more out of it, but I didn't want to be greedy. There was a bit of luck in there, even though this trade did work out in my favor eventually. I was going to make money regardless of the contracts that I got in, but I didn't want to be greedy. And yeah, I took my profits, and that's pretty much it for the day. We're going to come back tomorrow and do the exact same thing. I'm going to start on my weekly time frame. Then I'm going to mark my previous day's low, previous day's high, previous week's high, previous week's low, 4-hour range, 4-hour fair value gaps, order blocks, and then 1-hour range, 1-hour fair value gaps, order blocks, pre-market low, pre-market high. See where I can get, and might lose, might win. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So had a pretty good day, and let me get to editing this video. If y'all got any questions about what I'm doing, any of the concepts that I'm mentioning, if you don't understand them, let me know. I'll point you to the direction to get you some good education on it, whether it's a video that I make or somebody else. So yeah, hope you have a good night. Peace.